What up, everybody? Welcome to a Thursday morning in the electrical code world. My name is Paul Abernathy, doing another morning mobile trek to the office, and just want to talk about Wednesday nights with the Fast Tracks program. If you're in our Fast Tracks program, you're learning the National Electrical Code, whether it's for exam preparation or you're just learning the code. We have a great resource on Wednesday nights. Anybody that's in the Fast Track program can come and go. They're not mandatory, they're optional. But it is great when you have those pressing questions that you've run into on an exam or even at the water cooler in the company. It's pretty neat that we have people that roll in. Some people, come every week. Some come every now and then. And they come in. And remember, when you're a Fast Track student, you're always going to have access to the Wednesday night sessions. And there's a process. So I get a lot of questions that people say, hey, how do I get access to the Wednesday night sessions, the live sessions, which, by the way, can go, up to over 3 hours in some cases. We get to talking and goofing off and just answering questions and learning code and examining stuff. And it even makes me look at stuff maybe that I've never really looked at or really dig into. Which is great because it always keeps me on my toes as well. But it's just a great resource for you to be able to bring those questions if you have those questions. The concept of the Wednesday night was so that when you're going through the Fast Tracks program, for those that might not know what that is our very detailed 19-unit program that covers, the National Electrical Code. It's kind of the 30,000-foot view of the NEC, so it's very broad, but it covers all important topics, right? Of course, we have the Fast Tracks Red, which is residential, which digs deeper into residential codes if you're into that after you get your license. Of course, we have the green as well, that goes into the commercial codes. But the Fast Tracks Black or the Fast Tracks Plus, they're both the same course. The difference is the Plus has to do with being able to get to the videos on our personal website, the Electrical Code Academy website. The Fast Tracks Black, you don't get access to those videos. That's just our online course, and so that's totally different. It's hosted on a different server. So again, it's important to understand when you go with the Plus, it's because you want access, 12-month access to our exclusive videos and things like that, and any new videos that we put out. And access to the exclusive videos on the mobile app. Okay, so that's kind of part of that feature is you get the mobile app access. Anyway, one of the big benefits to Fast Tracks is that you get to come to the Wednesday night session if you want to. It's optional. We had some great discussions last night. The Basement King was there. Schwartzy was there. All the regulars were there. And we got into some great discussions about range calculations. Nico was there. Jesus was there. Not the Jesus, but the Jesus. And it was really a great, night to be there. Ross was there. Just so many people were in it and asking questions, and we were able to look at the code. And that's what it's all about. You're so immersed in the code during this study phase in a Fast Tracks program. It's just giving you the ability to come somewhere and ask questions if you encounter it, right? So, you run into things during the program and you're like, well, gee, what does this mean? Or what does that mean? We had a great session last night. I think Matthew was in and he was asking a question about the tables. When would you use 31015B1 versus B2? And I explained that that's when you're dealing with the ampacity tables 31016, 31017. You're going to stick with the correction values that are in 31015B1. And if you're dealing with 310.18.19.20, then you're going to be using 310.15B2, which is based on the 40 degree C. So it's great knowledge, great information, because again, if you got a question you want to, and I think also Matthew had a question about short L's, like service L's, and typically an LB is calculated the same way as you would an angle pull, because that's kind of what it is. Even though you have removable cover, That affects the backside of it. But again, the lengthwise from the long end going into it, you got to remember that it applies the same rules as 314.28 A2 for the angle pulls, right? 6 times. So I explain what the one-shot rule is under Chapter 9, Table 2, and it's more of a radial bend, and it's short, stubby, but rounded back. You've probably seen those. And there's a radius requirement for that. So it kind of obscure questions that people have, and I figured it was, we discussed those type of things. So it's a great time for you to come in and ask questions and really hone those skills. I think, be honest with you, I think Fast Tracks Wednesdays is also great for people that once you get your license and you have a resource. People always want to know, where can I go? Well, we're there Wednesday nights. We're there. Now, it's not open to the public. You have to be either a Fast Tracks member of either the Fast Tracks Black or the Fast Tracks Plus, or even our Fast Tracks Orange, which you have access to all of our courses. The yellow, the blue, the green, the red, and the black. In that one, you have access to come to the Wednesday night too, if you want. Now you have total flexibility if you choose to want to come to that. You can come to it. So people ask, how do I find the link to that? Well, first thing you have to do is when you get your email from us that shows that your instructions on how you set up your account, right? Which is on a separate server for a reason, and it's isolated away. And so when you go, because that's different than our website, it's not on the same servers. So once you go and get that email, scroll all the way to the bottom, and it'll have the instructions on how you do it. And then once you follow those instructions and you get approval, then you'll see the login information, and you can join us on a Wednesday night. And you never know what we're going to do. We're going to might examine questions. We might not just look over questions. We might dissect questions. We might do a little lesson on ranges. We might do a little lesson on motors. We might do a little transformers. But the time is really yours. Now, I will say, if we've been in there 2.5 hours, don't bring up wanting me to do a full detailed lesson on transformers with only, after we've been on for 2.5 hours. Save that for another night where you can hit us up early and say, hey, can we go over some transformer stuff tonight? Yeah, then I'll go over 450, and we'll talk about the different things of the transformer primary, secondary protection, 450.3, and we'll talk about the tables, and we'll talk about conductor sizes on a primary and secondary. We'll talk about 240.21C for secondary conductors, and we'll talk about all that. But hit me early with that unless I'm doing an actual training on that. The other beautiful thing is that we have a lot of these sessions that have been recorded, and they're available in the Fast Tracks Black and Plus members forum over at the Sparky Hub. So if you're not a member of the Sparky Hub, that's a great place. We have a public forum. But if you want to get into the Fast Tracks Black, you have to be a Fast Track student to get in, and we check that. So you can submit if you want, but you'll get rejected. So every student is checked to make sure they're actually in, and your email has to match the same address that you use to sign up for the Fast Tracks. Otherwise, you won't be approved. So make sure you pick your emails wisely. Those type of things. But it's a great resource. Jay's always a great help there. I tease him every week, but he's a great resource. And I like the fact that he's really, I tease him in there, but I'm real proud of him, proud of everybody in there. But he starts rattling off codes, and I give him a hard time. But inside, I'm thinking, great job. I'm thinking everybody that's starting to rattle off codes are getting it, and they're all becoming much more proficient. And I can tell you, Jay's code knowledge has really, really grown. And he's in the CMECP program doing amazing. as well. But it's just awesome to see, and the success rate of the students that are in the Fast Tracks program is getting crazy. I ain't lying. It is literally getting crazy. We're getting notices from everybody saying how they're doing so well in the program, and they passed their licensing exam. And that's what we're all about, right? Getting your license. So the Fast Tracks is proven. Ain't no doubt. People know it's the real deal. All we're doing is making you focus on the NEC. And then those little areas where you need a little help, that's the things that we do on Wednesday nights. We're not trying to recreate it. But you come to Wednesday nights and say, Paul, can we go over voltage drop? I'm really not grasping it. Absolutely. We'll talk voltage drop questions. We'll do an example. Paul, can you do a range? Like last night, Nico, who's one of our members who comes Wednesday nights regularly, wanted to go over one of the competency reviews questions dealing with ranges of different sizes. And we went over it, explained how you use Note 2, how all this works. And so it was, little bits of takeaways. And if you get something out of it that can help you on an exam, that just makes it so much better. If you already have, a lot of the people that come already have their licenses. So it just kind of lets you see that some of us just like to have an environment where there's no stress, and you can come and ask your questions. And yeah, I might tease you, but I do it all with and affectionately. I'm not, it's just a good time. And again, it's an open door. You can come and go as you want. You can stay for an hour and say, all right, guys, I got a bolt. Hey, you got a bolt. I get it. So that's the kind of environment. Now, last night, I will tell you right now, buddy, I tell you, they were wound up last night. I think I've been doing this for a couple years now. And last night was the most rowdiest night I've ever seen in a Fast Track session, which is great. I think everybody learned something from it. But it was, I tell you, it was rowdy. They were a rowdy bunch last night. And Jay, he's the spearhead of it, right? Jay is spearheading that rowdiness last night. But it was really good. We had Brian in there as well, and it was just a great time, and I enjoy it. It's a highlight of my week to be able to connect with everybody and try to stay connected. I get so focused corporate-wise dealing with the stuff that I deal with that it's kind of one of those things where on Wednesday nights I get to not be the corporate guy, the guy that people see in the videos. I get to kind of let my hair down, so to speak, even though everybody knows I have no hair. But it's a good time. And so again, anybody's welcome that's in our programs. Also, I think one of the things that people don't realize is that the monthly subscribers and the annual subscribers to our website, Electrical Code Academy, also have access to come. And you don't have to be a Fast Track student. You got access to come too. In the members area, members only area, you scroll down below the buttons and you'll see the information for joining us on Wednesday night. So again, that's amazing value for the monthly or annual subscription. Amazing value. So you get to come in. I mean, think about it. You get access to somebody that's been consulting with people for years. I don't know everything. I know a lot about the NEC, but I don't know everything. So I want to learn too. So it allows me to look at the code, dissect your question, and work through it. And if I don't know something, I'll tell you. And then I'll tell you I'll research it, and then I'll post it over on the Sparky Hub in our members-only area. So that's a good example. I have something I have to post over there that I promised the members that I would post an example for ranges. And I've got to do that. That's on my task list. I have my mobile app that I created, Tradies Apps, and on there I have a task thing, and I added it to my task thing, so it'll remind me that I have to do the post. So I'm very task-oriented. I have to do that in order for me to remember, because I have to really manage my time to be able to do those type of things. So anyway, thanks for listening this morning. I hope you get something out of it. Again, Fast Tracks Wednesday nights, amazing. Thank everybody that comes. Appreciate you all. And we'll catch you next week. And if you want to be a Fast Track student and you want to come to our Wednesday nights, just join our program. I think you're going to see you get way more value out of the program than you would ever imagine. Okay? So thanks to all the Fast Tracks folks and everything. Appreciate you. Talk to you next week.